Hi, I'm Brittany, and in this video I want to talk about what it means to have your Jupiter in Scorpio, okay? And this is a really interesting thing because we have Jupiter coming into Scorpio, I think this Wednesday, or I might be wrong on the date, this week sometime. And Jupiter will stay there for over a year, so we are going to be experiencing these themes in all of our lives, not just for the people who have this placement, but everyone and all of us are going to be experiencing Jupiter through this energy for the next year, so that's going to be pretty fun too. So what is Jupiter? Jupiter is our joy. Jupiter represents expansion. It represents something that we can do naturally and do it very well, and it makes us happy to do so. So finding your Jupiter is a great way to find your self-confidence and your natural luck and ability in life. So people with Jupiter and Scorpio are very naturally intense people about relationships especially, but about money and about really their whole lives. See, Jupiter makes everything bigger. So when Jupiter hits on Scorpio, we've got themes of sex, death, rebirth, transformation, other people's money. So people with Jupiter in the sign, I feel like it can suck the joy out of Jupiter a little bit, but it's not really that it's doing that. It's putting the joy in finding the deeper significance behind things in life. And that's not always looked upon as like a normal or cool thing to do in our world these days. So these people have to be different, and they have to follow their gut instincts, not their mind, because they are very psychic and they're very emotional and they're very powerful, and what they feel about a situation is likely what is true, because we have a really strong intuition with this placement and an ability to see the deeper meaning behind things and see the ultimate point of it all if we get really deep into our studying. And so these people can end up being very wise, and also they're very serious about their intimate relationships. And they seem to have, I've noticed with Jupiter and Scorpio people, they have very intense sexual relationships or none at all. And they're not really into just casual fling type relationships. It's like an all or nothing thing, and they have deep desires and needs. And not that they're all totally obsessed with sex, but it is one way that this planet can find expression. So Jupiter makes everything bigger, so maybe their sex life is a bigger deal to them than other people, and maybe that's also where they find a lot of their joy is through sex. But they're going to enjoy sex more when it's with a close connection, like where they can have their heart open, and that real depth and intensity that you can feel with another person when you're completely sharing all of your vulnerabilities and your real true self with them. That's the kind of thing that Jupiter and Scorpio is going to really get off on, because they love that kind of intensity, and they're bound to meet with several soulmates, or maybe just one special soulmate in this lifetime, I think, and they will have a very intense, deep relationship with them, and that will bring them a lot of joy, is having that type of relationship in their life. And they're very good at just seeing the need for relationship too, like whereas some other signs they might think, oh, it's more important to study or whatever, but or do whatever, but Jupiter and Scorpio sees that it's very important for us to make meaningful connections with other people. And this isn't just surface level shit, this is like real soul touching relationships. They realize the need for this in their life, and they make a great effort to have relationships like this or none at all. So yeah, what else? Also, I've noticed they tend to come into some money here. With Jupiter and Scorpio, these people end up being in a high-paying job or being in a situation where they have some type of power over others, or they have more money than the people around them, and so they have kind of this power as well. And it's like money isn't as much of an issue when you have Jupiter in Scorpio, because other people's money, it's like people are just giving you money. Well, it would be good to believe that, but it's just they usually end up coming into some type of money somehow, or money is less of an issue because it's just freely given away to them. And they'll really be able to make a lot of money if they follow their true passion and use their gifts, which is their gift of this depth and intensity. And they could be wonderful psychologists or human relationship studiers of all kinds, like relationship counselors, or anyone who has to work with people in a deep way, like even like surgeons, or like, and oh, another thing too is that whatever they do decide to do, they do it with such an intensity that they can follow through to completion. So yeah, if they were going to become a surgeon or a doctor or something, Jupiter and Scorpio can follow through with all of the learning and do everything, because this is a very focused, intense placement, so they can really do anything they set their mind to. If they do music, they're going to be devoted to studying it every single day, and nothing will get in the way of that. Or if they're focused on their relationship partner, they're going to make sure that every single day they do something to show their devotion to that person. Or if they're obsessed with sex, they're going to make sure they have it every day, like and things like that. Like they just they do whatever it is that brings them joy, and they give themselves fully to whatever that is, okay? And so on the negative side here with this placement is we can have some people that go to emotional extremes, because Jupiter makes everything bigger. So let's say you're already a really emotional person, you've got lots of Pisces, Cancer in your chart or whatever, and you feel a lot of emotions. You have Jupiter and Scorpio making some aspect to that, or maybe Jupiter making a hard aspect to one of your planets or something. Like you've got some Leo and then you got Jupiter and Scorpio. Okay, you are going to totally, when you're having an emotion, you're going to blow it out of proportion and be super emotional, do some crazy things. This is like this is like when, like, what's that Carrie Underwood song where she's like scratching her key along his truck, and you're gonna do shit like that. Like if you're not a more soul-centered, if you're really centered in your emotions and you want to have revenge on someone with this placement, you're gonna go all out and you're gonna really express those negative emotions as well. But the whole purpose of Jupiter and Scorpio is, I think, to transcend and transform those difficult emotions so that you can eventually become the higher type of Scorpio, which is, of course, being a healer and being that person that can understand deep situations and help other people deal with their own emotions, because this placement is not lacking in emotions at all. Another thing, they can very overdo it with their beliefs, because this is a really stubborn sign too. So if they believe something, they're going to hold on to it for life, and it can be hard to have any outside input, because they don't feel they need it. And if they usually are very wise and they might not need any outside input, but I'm just saying, if they're operating from more the negative levels here, they're not going to be able to hear you when you say, hey, that's a little bit crazy, maybe you shouldn't do that thing. Like, it's not going to matter. So on the negative expressions, those two things, a little bit vengeful maybe, embracing the negative emotions a little bit too much, getting stuck there, and then an inability to hear reason when you're trying to reason with them. But usually with this placement, with any Jupiter placement, we usually get the highest expression of the sign. So when we have Jupiter, usually, because Jupiter is so damn positive, but it can be negative, and the negative is overdoing whatever that sign it's in. But anyways, very cool placement, exciting to see what it brings this year, because we've had Jupiter in Libra for the past year, so everybody's been friendly and polite and wanting harmony, and then Jupiter's gonna go into Scorpio and it's gonna be like, cut the crap. We want depth, we want intensity, we want to know the truth. And that's a big theme for Jupiter and Scorpio people, is wanting to know the truth behind everything. Cut the crap, cut the bullshit. What's the real truth here? And they're gonna find it, and we're all gonna find it this year. Anyways, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.